Hello to all my fellow listeners. Welcome to Let's Talk Nerd podcast. In today's D&D story, we will be going on to the third session of the Crime Family campaign. A campaign where I am the DM with 5 friends and my girlfriend in a steampunk fantasy world taking place in a city called Rigsworth. This session was pure chaos and destruction. Players went off the rails and ruined their repetition. So, if you want to hear more, stay tuned. But before we dive in, let's do a quick nerd survey. I want to implement this new thing that my friend came up with. Within episodes, near the beginning or the middle, I will be describing something or asking you guys something, and I'll be giving answers at the end of the podcast. And if you get the answer right, welcome to the Nerd Club. So let's start this off. And of course, you know it's gonna be nerdy. So this is a popular franchise. It started off as movies, but soon had shows, books, comics, and games, from board games to card games to video games. It's a space adventure with humans, aliens, creatures, and robots, with all some sort of magical power that runs through every single living being. There are protectors who fight against evil, and the evil who wants to rule planets and galaxies. Can you guess what it is? But now, let's get to the story. So the session started with the quest that they got in the second session. A quest that is asking for some heavy lifters to help move stuff. So they went to so they were already in the 4th district. So they tried to find this place that was on the quest board, and they found it. They enter the shop and they see 2 blacksmiths. They look middle aged. They don't look too old, but they aren't young like the party. There's a old man human and a elf. I don't know the age of the elf, I'm gonna be honest. So when they walked in there, the 2 blacksmiths were asking, "Hey, so you're here for the job? Thank you so much for helping us. We have some stuff in the back that needs to be moved to the trucks out front." So they lead them to the back and they see 10 packages, all of them different sizes. There are big, awkward ones, there are crates, there are tiny packages, all of them, all different types. So my party was rolling strength checks to lift it up. Okay. They, I will say, they did succeed, but they struggled. I remember our bard, Juan Fishron, he rolled a nat 1 to pick up a package, so he carried a small package, and he struggled with it so much to the truck. There was another time where there was this big, bulky package. It was like one of the last ones. Hold up. It was like this big, bulky package. Everyone rolled low. Then I rolled for the old man. He rolled low. So then they were like, "All right, let's take a little break. Get back to this." So they took a break, re-rolled. They got it done. So they got paid 10 gold total. So, and in this session, Tingus Bingus, the Warforged fighter, is not here. He is currently shut down at the apartments that they stopped at. So they got paid, and they started walking down the streets more, and they hear a voice call out for arson. They turn around and they see like this human. It's like average sized human being like, "Arson, don't you remember me? It's me, Brettle, your cousin." So they somehow met Arson's cousin that they haven't seen in a long time, and there's like a burn on his face. He explains that he got that burn from when they were children, and that's when Arson first got his fire powers and accidentally burned him. So he offered to bring them to a tavern and just chat for a little bit. While they were just chatting with each other, and um, they were asked. They were. He was like, "Yeah, hey, what do you guys do for a living?" They all lied. Some of them were bad at lying, but he just ignored it. And then they asked him a question about the logo, the diamond logo with the triangle. And he just got very nervous for some reason. And before anyone could do anything, they heard a some kind of siren, um, like screaming outside of the place. And then all of a sudden, announcement comes. This is not a drill. A tiger level threat has entered the city. Please seek shelter. I repeat, this is not a drill. Actually, I lied about that. It was a wolf level, not tiger level. Sorry. So they were like, "What is that?" And pretty much Bretta was like, "Oh, some monsters invaded the area, and now we had to like go into a lockdown." And my party was like, "Nuh-uh, we're gonna go out there and fight." When they go out there, they see 4 man-sized bugs, and they see a creature like that looks like a small owl bear that is able to fly, just flying across. And they see one of the bugs starting to like attack a child. I believe it was. Hold on. I believe it was Nido, or Nito, the wizard, who shot. I think shot. Okay, no, it was. It was either Nido or Arson. They shot at the bug, missed, but the bug stopped paying attention to a child and paid attention to them. And this was not a fair fight. For them, it was perfect. For me, oh my god. Okay, what pretty much happened is that they they went to go fight these guys, and they were able to get one of them super low from afar. The other guys were starting to come over. And then like the battle was just a battle, like shoot 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 shoot. Oh yeah, aha. The bard got the second kill. I believe it was. I have to check with my players, but I believe it was Mabel who got the first kill. The bard got the second kill by using Thunderwave. Pretty much, let me describe to you what Thunderwave does for any of you guys who does not play D&D. It is a first level spell, and it says a wave of thunderous force sweeps out from you. Each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 2d6 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away from you. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and isn't pushed. So, the bard used Thunderwave, and he was right next to one of the horse guys and the flying owl bear, pretty much. He used it, instantly killed the flying creature, and I wasn't able to use it at all. Literally, dead on the spot. And then the bug-sized creature just hit the wall right next to them. Fight continues on, and it is the last bug remaining is the one that was pushed into a wall by Juan. Oh my god. Let me tell you how he wanted to kill it. So they got him super low, and Juan is like, when Juan hit the final blow, I always say, how do you want to kill? Juan says, takes Juan goes to the bug, pulls out his purple dildo, and says, "Do you see that guy?" and points to a dead bug. That's gonna be you after this. And the bug's head explodes from a threat by a purple dildo. Yeah, it wasn't. It was fair. It was fair for them. It wasn't fair for me. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So they went back to the tavern and they are pissed because Brettel said that he was gonna help them fight. He never showed up. So they confront him for being a coward, and when they went back in there, they didn't see him. But what they found was a note that had the Diamondbacks Mafia symbol, which is the diamond with the triangle inside. And they were like, "Oh, he's part of them." That's why he was. That's why he was asking so many questions about them. So they asked the bartender, who was a dwarf girl, where he went, and this is this is how I said it. "Oh yeah, he went through the back way." Yes, just like that. So they went to that back alley to find him, and they found some of his some wet footprints, and they followed it, and then they see him about 60 feet away. So they continue chasing him, and they get lost in they lose him in a crowd. And when they go through the crowd, they find a crime scene with 3 goblin officers. And the goblin officers see them, and it's like, "Hey, you guys, I heard about you guys defeating those bugs a couple minutes ago. Can you help us with this one investigation?" So the party's like, "Okay, whatever, sure, we can do that for you." And but pretty much, so let me describe to you what exactly they see. So they see it's a murder scene with 3 dead, 2 orcs, one is a guy, one is a girl, and 1 rock dwarf dead. The rock dwarf has 2 shot wounds going through his chest. They found a wallet of his, and they found 4 copper pieces. They find a name in the wallet that says Daniel. And basing off of his clothing, they can identify he is from Taran, aka the upper city. The male orc has some deep stab wounds going through his chest. You're able to see the enter and exit hole. Like, it went all the way through, and it was like not like it wasn't like small. It was like most of his chest was gone. It seems like he was stabbed by something large, specifically from the back. He looks to be death fallen, and when they check his pockets, they see a wallet that has some drugs in a plastic bag. Juan is like, "I'm gonna steal that." Rolled for sleight of hand, stole the drugs successfully. And they found out that his name is Gerald. And the lady orc doesn't have any piercing wounds, but her neck is broken. It seems to be turned in a 180 degrees, like 180 degree, and it looks like every single bone in her neck is broken. Like, if you pick her up and you shake her, it's gonna be like a plastic bag shaking. She also looks to be death fallen as well, and she has a purse on her saying, with a perfume saying "Flower Delight," a dull dagger, and a note saying, "Meet me in the Forge District on 86th Street, in the alley next to Firehouse Steak. Bring the cocaine and the money." So, they are currently at the street, and they did not know that until Nito was like, "Hey, I'm gonna see what street we're on." He went out and he saw that they are on the 86th Street. So they know that they are currently at the place. So they, after like some more investigating, they see on the wall the Diamondback Mafia logo spray painted on it, and they see like some kind of material that looks like it was like from a vine. And they also see some bloody footprints leading to a gated off um, area. And they reported us back to the police, told them that they're going to jump the fence to find what happened, and they did. And they continued following the tracks until it just disappeared. And when they looked up, they see that the footprints are on two buildings. So they climbed up the roof. So they were like, "All right, some of we're gonna try go up there and see what happens." So they came up with an idea that Skellybone Jones and Arson are going to climb up there, while Nito, Mabel, and Juan are going to stay on the ground looking for more clues. So Arson and Skillybones, uh, God, oh my God, sorry about that, guys. Skillbones and Arson jump from roof to roof, and near like on the corner of a street, they find a duffel bag on top of the roof. While that's happening, the rest of the party continues to look for clues on there, and Mabel finds a note in the alley on the side of the building saying, "Beware of bag." And before they could say anything to the boys up top, also, guys, one more interruption. Stay hydrated. This is a daily reminder. So, before they could say anything to the boys up top, they open up the bag and the bomb starts to tick down. Tick, 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 tick. So, they don't have any equipment to deal with this. So, they were like, "Alright, let's throw it up in the air before it explodes so then it doesn't hurt the building." They throw it up in the air. Tick, 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 tick. It lands back on the ground, and then starts going faster. Tick, 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 tick. And they're like, "Oh, that did not work. Let's try again." So they throw it in the air, and I believe it was Arson who shoots the bomb, and it goes off. And when they shoot the bomb, they hear the explosion goes off, and then all of a sudden they hear police sirens erupting from the area. The police got there, and they put Mabel, Nito, and Juan in handcuffs to ask questions, and they were asking for Arson and Skellbones to get down from the roof. My party said, "Nuh-uh, I don't wanna." And so the cops were arguing with Skellbones and Arson, and Mabel is like, hey, I can show you what's happening, what has happened. This is not our doing. We were just trying to investigate a crime scene from some police officers. So Mabel led them to the crime scene, when all of a sudden there was nothing there. So the cop was super skeptical about this. So while she was gone, Juan got aggressive at the cops because he sees a catfish cop and he hates lake fish. He hates them. So he started cussing him out and tried to get up and beat him up. So Nito and Juan and Mabel were put into a police car going to jail. And before they were put into jail, Nito yells at Skellbones and Arson to run. And like complete fucking idiots, they run from the police. They run jumping from roof to roof. Yes, I know my party's a little slow. So, um, well, so while they're running from roof to roof, drones, cop cars, and other flying vehicles start chasing them, and all of a sudden, like the drones started to shoot at Scalebones and Arson. Arson was shot, got hit once. I just want you to know, his max health right now is 12. He got shot. He got hit by a single bullet, and it went down to 10. No, not 10. He went down to 2. He got dealt 10 damage in a single shot. He almost died. And Scalebone Jones, want to know what happened? He escaped. He jumped. He saw a dumpster. He jumped down into a dumpster safely, not injured at all. Which is because his rogue, he's a rogue. So he's super stealthy, he has like a +6 in stealth, I believe a +8 in sleight of hand, a lot of other stuff. He's powerful when it comes to stealth. While this is all happening, Nito, Juan, and Mabel Mills were stripped of their belongings, including the cocaine. Not the cocaine, it's actually called cocaine, the drugs that Juan stole from the crime scene, which were real. So that was put into the evidence room with his purple dildo. And they were all put into the same jail cell that it has magic, that has the bars are coated in magic restricting spells, so no spells is able to be cast around that jail cell. So they decided to plan to escape, and they investigated a room, and they see in a tiny court, like in a tiny other room, they see one police officer sitting there, and they suspect he has the keys. So they. Oh god, okay. One said, I'm gonna try to distract him and bring him out here. So I'm gonna sing a song. I'm gonna tell you what song they sing. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Yes, they started singing the American national anthem. And while that was happening, they also planned that what one did is they broke a piece of Nito's rib cage, because Nito is the skeleton wizard. So they ripped off part of that, and the guard came closer and closer to them, and while that was happening, they see that he has the keys. So he decides to stab the guard, and Mabel and Nito grab the guard and bring them closer to the jail cell. While they're still literally Nito and Juan were still singing, and in person, they were all singing besides Mabel. Besides my girlfriend, they were all singing besides her, because she couldn't stop laughing. Same with me, but I was a DM. I had to concentrate on not to do that. So they stabbed. So when he was getting stabbed, they looted for his keys, and after singing the national anthem, they before the guard died, the guard just saluted and said, "God bless America," and died. So they got the keys. They were able to escape, and they investigated more, and they found an only one way out of the room. And when they looked through the window, they saw the room was filled with policemen, lockers, and what they assumed to be evidence rooms. Alright, let's go back to the runaways. Arson was still jumping from roof to roof, injured, straight up bloodied, and the street was about to end. That's when he noticed that there was a garbage truck heading towards the end of the street. So he decided to run faster while the drones were still shooting at him. Drones were still missing. They were missing a lot now. And so he actually got hit in the foot by a bullet, but it did not injure him. He still had 2 health. But he was slowed down. So, but then he kept on running like a strong man he is, and he jumped into the garbage truck, injuring the same leg in the process. This man is getting injured over and over and over again. While he jumped in there, Skellbones Jones that jumped into the dumpster in an alley, he has his ability because of his background that he's able to brew stuff. So he brewed an illusion bomb out of the stuff he could find. He went into a different alley, threw a bomb to distract some of the police from arson. So the police went to alley to investigate, and while they were doing that, Skellybone Jones was able to hijack a parked car. He unlocked the car successfully without any problems, where then all of a sudden he hears, "Mama, is that you?" He turns around to see a blind elf kid asking, and he was being like, "Mom, are you back yet?" And from what you've heard already, you're probably like, "Oh, he probably killed the child." This is the first kind act that they've done since they saved people from the monsters. What he did is he told the kid, "Hey, you're in the wrong car," and the kid was struggling to open up the door. So he was like, "Okay." He went around, he opened the door, led the kid to the sidewalk safely out of harm's way, and then he went back to find where Arson is at. Now, Arson, since he jumped into a garbage truck, he was able to hide within the garbage to hide from the drones searching for him. And of course, he was under a lot of stress. And with what me and him agreed on is his hair is fire. So when he is stressed, the fire is gonna grow. When he's stressed or mad, fire is gonna grow. When he's tame, it's normal. When he's sad, it's gonna be almost burnt out. So he was under a lot of stress. He was burning some of the garbage, but was able to relax himself just a tiny bit till he was able to escape. That's when he got to a garbage dump, and he was able to burn a hole underneath the garbage truck, and he hid underneath the garbage truck, where he saw 2 cop cars, and he noticed that they were searching the garbage truck that he was previously in. So he had a smart idea. He decided to make a flare so he can tell his party where he is currently at. And with making that flare, it actually attracted the 10 people there, most of them officers. He then burned the garbage truck and then hijacked a police car, and when he tried to hijack the police car, he wanted to run over one of the police. So the police rolled a nat 1 to dodge, and Arson rolled a 2 to hit the cop. So he barely hit the cop. Barely. It probably just left a bruise for the cop. I don't know. I don't know. How would that be? You get hit in the. If you get hit by a car, it's gonna hurt a lot. But if you barely get hit, like you just get hit by the corner at like when it's starting to drive, not when it's fully speeding up, just when it's starting up and starting to go faster. Like that. I don't know how to describe it. But now, let's get back to the prisoners. So, Nito went into the room where they saw the cop before, where he found a sleeping dwarf cop. And he was full on ready to wake him up. And by the way, they still do not have his stuff. So they came up with a plan. Juan decided to grab the cop's clothes, wear it. And Mabel Mills started to free the other prisoners there, saying, I have faith in you guys. We're going to escape. You guys are going to do such great in this world. And their plan is pretty much start a riot and leave. So Juan, dressed up as a cop, went out there and was like, hey, there's a riot going on. And as soon as he said that, all the prisoners went out and started to fight. And they were able to find most of their stuff. But, because they went, so the rest of the party was able to find most of their stuff that was stripped away. But Juan noticed something that was gone. He noticed that his drugs and his purple dildo was gone. So he went to the next evidence room. Alright. This is going to get very PG. I'm so sorry. You can skip this part if you want. You can skip this part. It's going to take a few seconds. He went into the next evidence room where he found a naked man. His face is covered in the purple drugs that was previously Juan's, with the dildo up his butt, completely stuck. So Juan wanted it back. Want to know what he did? He took his short sword, stabbed the dildo, pulled it out. I had to make a moaning noise because I'm the DM, and then decided to hit the guy on the head with it, and left. Yeah. Anyways, they all found some police clothes in the lockers, and they walked out of the station, and their next plan was to find out where Arson and Skellybone Jones is. Then all of a sudden, they see smoke coming from a distance. Oh, well, I guess I know where they're at now. So, that was the third session, and it was something else. I'm intrigued on what is going to happen next session and how it's going to pan out. But before we end this podcast, let's answer the question from the beginning. The correct answer for my question on the space adventure where there are humans, aliens, creatures, and robots with some sort of magical power that runs through every single living being. That correct answer is, drum roll please, Star Wars. And if you guessed correctly, congrats, you are a fellow nerd. I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Crime Family. Stay tuned in for future episodes, and like always, have a great day or night. Bye bye.